We're live. Hello, everybody. Hello. We have a mystery guest here. Welcome to Facebook Live, Filmbuff Live. Sorry. I wonder how many times I'm going to make that mistake tonight. Who's our mystery guest? I just saw that I could report myself from my phone. I wonder how fun that would be. Woo woo! Mr. Wizzo, ladies and gentlemen, now the party can start. You're always right there with me, Wizzo. All right. Well, the good news is if we don't get anybody here, at least we got the show playing in the background. You can watch that for a little bit. I love you, Wizzo. Love you, buddy. I know that this might be playing a little bit later, but everybody, it was Wizzo's birthday the other day. I won't tell them how young you were, but you look fantastic for your age. How about that? Youthful. I imagine these things take a second to pick up. Coming to you live from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, buddy. Wizzo, it's an early Friday night. Are we out and about on the town? Are you messaging me from home? Are you watching the show from home? Ah, good, good. Fantastic. So I am not the best at setting these up. I attempted to do it. I believe you're like a pro at this now. So how's my setup looking? Because yeah, it took us a second. It took me and an associate of mine a couple of minutes to make sure we had all the proper equipment and if you could hear me well or whatnot. And I'm pretty sure everything turned out okay. I could see me on the other monitor here as I am live. So it works. Fantastic. Fantastic. That's all that matters. Wizzo's appreciation. Well, I guess I'll just start going over from a bit of news with you, Mr. Wizzo, in the entertainment industry today. I don't know if you are aware that in the last 24 hours, the company of Deepfake has purchased rights to Bruce Willis's likeness after he passes. Bruce Willis being the first actor who has sold the rights of himself to Deepfake to use. This is a very, very, very big deal. This is a very huge deal right now, and I mean, this means a lot. This means a lot. This is a big deal, and we're here for it. And we're about to see the beginning of the end. The beginning of the end of actors, probably. I mean, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Imagine that, you know, you get called in to play a Bruce Willis type as an actor to audition. And you come into audition, and you lose the fucking role to Bruce Willis, who had been passed away for like 10 years. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. And it's not necessarily a good or bad thing, but imagine what we could have still had James Dean if they'd had this back then. And then we wouldn't have, you know, Luke Perry or some shit like that. Like, this is insane to me. It is a big deal. And I believe when Deepfake started, I don't think that they had intended things to get so crazy out of hand as far as, you know, I believe they started using that for like adult films, people's likeness for that, and things got a little bit out of control. And so laws started getting built and whatnot, and Deepfake became a bigger company. And then, yeah, this Bruce Willis thing, and that's just the beginning. And like, a part of me is like, you know, part of me is really, really happy for Bruce Willis, in all honesty. I'm a big Bruce Willis fan, of course, but the other half of me is like, it just leaves no room for our future. Yeah, we are living in the future. We are beginning to live into the future. I can't believe that. We'll see where that goes. I mean, Bruce Willis has just announced recently that he was retiring due to, I know it starts with an A, the sickness. It's not really as common. If anybody knows what it is, I'm trying to figure it out myself here. He had aphasia. Aphasia, if I'm saying that right, APHASIA. It's a language disorder caused by damage to the areas of the brain responsible for expression and comprehension. I believe he's losing his ability to take what he reads into his brain and out his mouth, which is devastating for a performer, for an actor. That's very unfortunate. It's extremely unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, Bruce Willis himself may be out, but look for his next movie in the next 10 years, or like he'll still be around. And I guarantee it's going to be a younger Bruce Willis. It's going to be Hunger, Bruce Willis might be even a moonlighting Bruce Willis. I mean, who knows? You can go back and forth, on all honesty, like depending on the role, depending on what they require. I mean, if it doesn't stop there, we could go on having like Arnold Schwarzenegger for eternity. Julia Roberts for eternity. Logan Paul for eternity. I'm just kidding. Yeah, Gene Roddenberry was a genius. Military. Oh, I did not know that. CIA background. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes art and reality kind of run into each other. A good concept of this to me is I was a huge fan of RoboCop, and back in 1987, RoboCop made a lot of statements on the future, the nearby future that we kind of live in today, as far as like social media taking over, becoming a huge aspect. Yeah, maybe, yeah. We could probably do the same thing with politicians. I mean, here's hoping. uh, um, another bit of change of subject, real quick in the entertainment news. Director Robert Eggers, who did The Witch, The Northman, and The Lighthouse, a very, very great director, had been fighting to get Nosferatu, the remake of Nosferatu, made for like years, I believe. He was trying to get Willem Dafoe to come back, and I did see that commercial, by the way, Amiee. I did see that. Yeah. They did it with Mark Hamill, I believe, also, and he was, yeah. They just did it with Mark Hamill, but so Robert Eggers finally got his Nosferatu remake greenlit today. It was finally greenlit with the casting. Instead of Willem Dafoe in the part of Nosferatu, the vampire, it is Bill Skarsgård, who was our latest Pennywise, the clown, from the latest It remake. Great actor, by the way. Great actor. And it's interesting that they wanted Willem Dafoe again, because he did a movie back in 2000 called Shadow of the Vampire, which was the true story of how Nosferatu got made, starring Willem Dafoe as that actor, and he actually got nominated for that role. So it's interesting that they wanted him again for that. But Bill Skarsgård and Lily Depp Rose, Johnny D's daughter, have been cast in that, and that's a great director. All three of those movies, The Witch, The Lighthouse, and The Northman, are fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing how that plays out. Has anybody seen the? It's intense. It's intense. The Witch for me is where my money's at. I love that movie. I think it's really underrated. People love The Lighthouse, though. Has anybody seen the new Monsters movie with directed by Rob Zombie, starring his wife and Daniel Roebuck? It's out right now, but I think it leaked about a week ago or so, and I just caught it recently. And so I was too. I was very excited to see what they were going to do with this film, The Munsters, and because I love the Addams Family, love the old school Addams Family, love the new Addams Family. I love the Addams Family, and it's hard to talk about one without talking about the other. And sooner or later, The Munsters was going to get remade. So when they announced that Rob Zombie was going to be the one to do it, it kind of seemed like a match made in heaven. Especially when I found out it was going to be PG. I was like, that's super interesting. And if he's smart, he'll take that opportunity to not drop the ball on that. Well, I think they got one thing really wrong. Yeah, it's on Netflix, I believe. They got one thing wrong right off the bat, was that they did it in color, which really confused me as to why they would do that. Addams Family was a different story because they used the darkness. Yeah, they still focus on it being a comedy, a Rob Zombie comedy. So the fact that they did it in color was an interesting choice to me. And I read just recently that it was not Rob Zombie's choice, which makes sense because that doesn't seem like something that Rob Zombie would do. So might be a very company-controlled movie. I'm not going to really give my opinion on the movie so much here, but I will say that I did. I will say that I was hoping it would have been something else. That's for sure. Rob Zombie is like a half for me. It's a hit or miss for me. And Rob Zombie, a lot like Quentin Tarantino, you know, they do genre movies, and they do movies that are respect. Uh, 31 is his best film. I don't know if anybody's ever even heard of 31. That's absolutely not true. It's the exact opposite of that. Devil's Rejects, I think, arguably is his best film, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would agree. A lot of people think that House of a Thousand Corpses is one of his better films too. There's way two different movies, although Devil's Rejects is the sequel to House of a Thousand Corpses. But yeah, he specializes in genre movies. And but no, later on they did. Later on, way later on in the series, I think now correct me if I'm wrong, I could be absolutely wrong, that they transferred to color in like a movie version of them or something like that. But it started with black and white, and it was black and white for a very long time. But man, yeah, that was such a bummer to me. I felt like it was rushed too. And even recently, has anybody seen like a trailer for it other than a couple of months ago? Like they're not even promoting it well. So clearly they kind of know what's going on with that. The company doesn't really want to support it. Something else, and I really should be looking into this a little bit more of the information before I bring it up, but I definitely wanted to talk about it in this. A classic movie that I love and grew up to is being remade. And sooner or later, all the movies that we love and grew up to are going to get remade. But this one kind of hurts because it was later on in my life. And I was going through the same situation as these characters were going through. And that was American Pie is getting remade. Can you believe it? We're not talking like a straight to video sequel, you know, like the 5 or 6 that have followed it. We're talking like it's straight getting remade by a female. Let me see who it is. I don't necessarily have an opinion one way or another about who's remaking it, but it's just interesting that they're doing a female version of this, because to me that's not. Yeah, here we go. An American Pie, and I kept looking out to see. It's still the same franchise. I thought that too, but it's absolutely still the same franchise. And I kept looking to see if it was a sequel, because they actually, in one of the straight-to-DVD movies, there is a girls' version of American. It's called Girls Rule or something like that, and it is being written by Sujata Day. Okay, sorry, Sujata Day, who is from the comedy drama series Insecure, which is a very well-known series. And a web series called The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl. I loved American Pie. I loved Porky's. Like, these are the same movie, but like in the 90s, if you had remade Porky's, it's not necessarily the same thing, but American Pie was very specific. 4 guys who unite in a pact to lose their virginity by prom. And all the misadventures that happen in doing so. If you flip that around, I don't necessarily know how that makes sense. You tell me these girls make a pact to lose their virginity by prom, the movie's going to last 10 minutes. Like it's not going to go on. It's not going to go on that long. And also, the title of American Pie was very it's very connected to the male organ. It's a joke. That Jason Biggs finds himself in an awkward position with an American Pie. It doesn't make sense with a female as well, unless you want to change the title to American Banana or American Sausage, in which case, again, it's not American Pie. So what is the point? Wizzo says no need. I kind of agree. There's a lot of remakes here and there that are no need. One, I go back to RoboCop. Here's something that they don't stop to consider, is that they remade RoboCop. They put a lot of great actors in it. It's got Michael Keaton, Jay Baruchel, Samuel Jackson, Gary Oldman's in it. and they released it, and it's PG-13. And it's like, wait, you kind of don't understand the concept of RoboCop. Is that this world is so bad now that they have to rely on technology to develop a cop that is incapable of thinking freely and just going by the rules and going by the book of what is incorporated into its memory. And then RoboCop, the original, is interesting because leaks of his real life start coming out, and he's dealing with who he used to be as opposed to who he is. And the remake, it missed the point right off the bat by making it PG-13. Yeah, there's probably a big delay on the chat. No, it's not good. I don't feel that it's good. They had a lot of potential, but again, they missed the whole point of the original right off the bat, which is that it's supposed to be a very intense, dark world filled with blood, prostitution. It's really like it's like almost like Gotham City on crack. Like it's just out of control. It's Detroit. It's a version of Detroit in the nearby future. And it's just so bad. When that movie originally came out, it was rated X for gore, just for gore. X was the equivalent to, later became NC-17, but NC-17 was more the sexual take on that. Showgirls was NC-17. This new blonde movie with, the movie about Marilyn Monroe, which I also believe is Netflix, that's NC-17, believe it or not. Yeah, so we want to talk about originality or creative, and I know I believe I brought this up to you, but Wizzo, have you ever seen or heard of Everything Everywhere All at Once? I have it right over here, actually. I am obsessed with this movie because of it's so heavy with originality. It's so good. I haven't fell in love with a movie like that in years. It's so good, brother. You know that it stars Michelle Yeoh and the I don't want to butcher his name here live, but the young child from Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom and Goonies, all grown up. And he's a scene stealer. Everybody in this movie is a scene stealer. Jamie Lee Curtis is a villain in this movie, and she's a scene stealer. She's barely recognizable in the movie, and she's but short round. But yeah, she steals the whole movie. Like everybody's at the top of their game in this movie, and it's a science fiction-esque romantic dramedy that has the capability of getting nominated by Oscar season, which is a big deal because it's a big deal for many reasons. Number one, a movie's not remembered a year round until the Oscars, because it came out last March. And number two, it's borderline science fiction. And I can't tell you when the last time a science fiction movie has been nominated for anything, much less Best Picture or Best Actor or anything. And this movie has a chance. But I also saw on that list that Elvis and Top Gun Maverick have a chance. And I was kind of blown away by that because the original Top Gun never stood a shot in hell at getting nominated. But yes, please check out Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's my favorite movie of like the last maybe 10 years. It's absolutely phenomenal. I know that you guys can see right back here. I have the interview with poster illustrator Drew Struzan, genius, legend, and I was going to release a segment on the Kickstarter event. Little shorts that we've been releasing in promotion of all the posters that I had made orchestrated for the encore presentation back like about a year or so ago. I literally did like 50 or 60 of them. I mean, I went fucking crazy. Like I did Hocus Pocus. I did RoboCop. I used every original poster to incorporate a character from the show in the poster. And I had so much fun doing it. Like I just went crazy. So I figured maybe I just get them all together and kind of sit and talk about them and show them. Yeah, I put McGlock as Cobra. And that was really funny. Some of them look really fucking good too. Some of them look really good. Like I did McGlock in A Star Is Born, and he from the side view looked just like Bradley Cooper. So I'm pretty proud of that. I'm hoping to get that out relatively soon, as well as other things. There's some outtakes and behind the scenes stuff that people haven't seen from season one. That's just kind of chilling on my computer, so I can't wait to release that. and a lot of stuff that we have coming out for promotion for Filmbuff Part 2, the Kickstarter event. Um, Anybody who's watching this and is interested, of course, the uh, uh, website address on that is on the videos of our page for the Kickstarter event. It's kind of everywhere that you go, our website and everything. We could really use the help. It's a passion project, you could say. We got half of it shot, and it looks beautiful. In fact, there was enough of it shot to orchestrate a trailer that I think is very effective. You would think that it's finished. Yeah, thank you. I'm really proud of the posters. I gotta show you them off to the side. I think I think some of them are really funny. But yeah, guys, anybody watching this could really use the help. Right now, we're trying to get funds together to kind of finish it. We're a little bit halfway through, and we got actors who have shot a lot and didn't get to finish their role, and a lot of great, wonderful new talent we've cast in there that haven't had a chance to be featured in it. And we're just really passionate about getting this finished. So $5 helps, $10 helps, anything small helps. I had a friend who had interviewed me and had come up with a number that said, like, if 4,000 people donate just $5, you can get it made. And that sounds simple, but it's not. It's not probably that simple in the least. But yeah, guys, please, if there's anybody that can help out, it would mean a lot. And of course, we have tiers on the project, prizes attached with each amount. The top one, anybody who is able to donate, I believe the amount was 5,000, will get I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, personal live appearance from me as Anxiety the Clown, wherever they want. That could prove to be very disastrous, and I'm super scared already about the opportunities that could present itself. I can't turn that down. I mean, that's such a generous offer. By the way, on the same offer is McGlock, Detective McGlock, played by Andy Dubitsky, and so that could be pretty disastrous as well. But yeah, guys, if you have time to donate or reach out, it'd be very much appreciated. I believe we're approaching halfway through our Kickstarter right now campaign. So I'm pretty new to this world. It's really exciting. It's really nerve-wracking, is what it is. But yeah. So let's see who's going to get that appearance from Anxiety the Clown. I hope they want it for like a birthday party or something, and they don't want it for, like, a bar mitzvah or like I don't know, something ridiculous, something that somewhere that he doesn't belong. Or maybe I do. Maybe that would be great. Yeah, McGlock Live. Oh my gosh. We've got some surprises coming up for you as far as that character goes with the Kickstarter campaign. You're also going to get to hear from the co-host, Ryan Miller. Our talented co-host, Ryan Miller, is going to be speaking on behalf. And I guess I got to give a shout out real quick to some of the new cast members and some of the new crew that we have a part of the series. To serve divorce papers. That's Wizzo, ladies and gentlemen, we've casted in Filmbuff Part 2. Really excited to have him on board. First time, of course, in the show, but also my first time being able to perform with my good friend Wizzo, who I love dearly. We have the very beautiful, very talented Amiee Conn. She's wonderful, and I've actually been trying to get her in the show since season 1. And I'm not going to reveal it here, but there's a particular sketch that I actually wrote just for her, and it didn't happen in season 1. So she had been somebody I had been trying to get forever, and finally got her in season 2. Got her in a really good role for season 2 as well. We have Mr. Troy Lewine, a personal good friend of mine, in a surprise role coming out, and it's, I believe, his first time. Might not be his first time, actually. Might not be his debut. We have Dallas Mead, the beautiful, lovely Dallas Mead's going to be a part of this. We've got my friend Darrell Rivas. We have Michelle Dannon, Warren Hall, the wonderful Alex Payne, who is a musician by trade, but he does a fantastic job in this. He already shot some of the stuff. In fact, we just released the interview with him recently. And he kills it. He kills it for his first time. He's fantastic. Garen Antencio is a class act. I love him. He's fantastic in this. And then we've got our regulars. We've got Ryan Miller. We've got Charles Norris. We've got Shannon McNamee. And we've got Mr. Andy Dubitsky. And we've got, of course, my son returning as the role of my son. Jackson Bird will make an appearance in Filmbuff Part 2. And he, of course, absolutely steals the whole show. Absolutely steals the whole show. Absolutely. And you know, it's this show. I had kind of arranged it for my son. I kind of arranged it for people who love film, and I grew up on film, as I know a lot of you have, and I feel that you know, whether it's your favorite movie or a movie you share with a lot of people or community, it speaks to you and it kind of inspires you to do certain things that in your life, certain decisions that you make, and certain feelings that you have. And so the show is a celebration to a topic that we all can relate to and we all love. And I'm very excited with where it's been, where it's going, and where it's at. So I don't want to give up on this. I think that it is well worth its final product. Yeah. But we kind of would like to maybe attempt to do this every week if we can. I'll try to have some better material. I think, you know, things happen every day in the entertainment industry, and there's a lot of interesting topics to talk about. That Bruce Willis topic was fresh, was so fresh and new, and I was so excited to jump on the opportunity to talk about that. So, well, I think that is, yeah, I'm the project of it was something for my son and I to have together, and it's to be hoped that maybe one day if he gets old enough, he might want to kind of take over in a way. But we'll see. We'll see. He's like I said, he's a fantastic performer already. He's in season 1 for 5 seconds. Literally, you could count the 5 seconds on your hands, and he steals it from everybody. He gets it from his old man, I guess, maybe. But all right, guys, that's all for me right now. My time is up a little bit here. It's that time really flew, man. I could have gone on and on and on and on and on and talked about a lot of stuff, but I'm starting to drift off into into the show behind me. But yes, guys, thank you so much for your time. I know that this will be up and about for everybody to see a little bit later tonight who wasn't able to join us. So I hope you guys have fun as well watching it out there. Thank you very much. Talk to you guys later.